Good day, everyone. This is Pineleaf Needles, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
Everything is fine down here. How are things in Bavaria?
Going fairly well. Counting down to Gen Con, as always.
Counting down to Gen Con. The Gen Con countdown begins with... it's under a month now.
Yes, 30 days as of this recording.
Then let's head into our game news. And yes, we actually have game news this week because they released Update 36, Duel for the Underdark.
Just sounds awesome. Duel for the Underdark. In this corner, we have the Drow. In this corner, we have the Dwarves. That's right. Update 36, Duel for the Underdark is live on the servers. I hope everybody is enjoying it. And we do have the patch notes. We've kind of talked about them before when it was on the Mania, so we won't spend a lot of the times going over them. I have linked them over on ddoplayers.com, though, if you want to read them. Also be in the show notes for this episode as well. The biggest thing, I think, is, of course, the new public area that they added, which is the Mines of Tethamar, and that is where you're going to pick up all of the new quest and find out about the whole story they got going on, because it's Drow versus the Dwarves, and there is an underlying story going on as well, too. I guess I actually haven't done all the quests yet, but from what the dev said, as you play out the quest, the mystery will reveal itself, and you'll find out what the mystery of the questline is. So looking forward to figuring that out.
Ooh, let's see. It says level 15 on heroic. Then maybe maybe I'm thinking about what my monk should do. It's been a while since I've played my monk, and maybe...
Well, there you go. You are the right level, right? So the only caveat to that is you're going to have to get your monk over to Evening Star.
Well, yeah, there is that little detail.
But that's not that hard to do, actually. But yes, so yes, that is where you pick it up. You pick up the new quest line in Evening Star. There's an NPC that will send you to the Mines of Tethamar, and then there you will pick up the quest, and you're good to go. They also got a ton of quality of life fixes in this update. We have, talked about them when it was on the Mania, but just a few of those are several of the airship amenities that did not have descriptions now have those descriptions. The airship captain will now remember where the heck the Hall of Heroes is, and the Shrine of the Devourer amenity will now give its correct acid and coal spell power. And of course, this update does include the Artificer changes, which we talked about several episodes ago. So if you play an Artificer, you want to check out the changes to that. Then, of course, this is the Warlock nerf update. R.I.P. Warlock. R.I.P. Yeah. I haven't actually played my Warlock yet. I've just been too sad to log it in. I was just...
maybe that's why I didn't play this weekend.
It might be.
Because that's right, because my monk is now half Warlock.
Oh, that's right. You did make it a monk Warlock, didn't you? So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting once I dust the old Warlock off to see if I notice any big changes with that. And several other things. Like I said, this is like the huge quality of life update, as well as the new quest. And you can get all of the patch notes over at ddoplayers.com, or check out the show notes. And as I said, or if you've listened to the past couple episodes, we've kind of talked about this stuff as well. So not going to bring it up too much now, but it's live on the servers, so go enjoy.
All right. Then let's head into the Update 36 named item list. And is there anything in there that is going to have you really fueling with excitement? I don't get too excited about names no matter what, but
yeah,
sometimes do.
Yeah, you don't, and I did. There is two things in here that I'm going to be grinding these quests out ad nauseum because I'm gonna want it to drop, and we all know how well the RNG loves me, so the chances of me actually getting
these... You don't think they'll all drop the first time?
Yeah, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it? But I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I guess.
See, I thought that's why you brought me along, so that I could pass it to you. If
well, see, that's what
chest.
That's what I was about to say. My only saving grace is a lot of the times you end up pulling named items. So I'll just say, you don't really want that now, do you? I didn't think you did. But yeah, the things I am looking forward to out of this is there is a rapier called Thunderstrike, which is pretty freaking awesome, if I do say so myself. And I do have a couple characters that use rapiers, so I'm looking forward to that. And there is, and I just noticed, for some reason it's not on the update list, but there is a item for my rogue. Let me look, see if I missed it. Oh, no, here it is. It's called the Pendant of Hidden Tools. Will give you a plus 16 to your search, a plus 8 insightful disabled device, a quality open lock of plus 4, and a quality move silent plus 4, and also an empty green augment slot. So I must have that for my rogue.
A must-have.
A must-have, so I can disable those devices and search and open those locks a little bit better than I do now.
Yes, if I remember correctly, last week we had some trouble with you opening up the lock.
We did, for the first time ever. I usually don't have problems because my open lock and disable devices lie. But yes, last week we did have a problem. But then there's some other nice things. There is a nice axe if you're into axe. There's a nice hammer. So some pretty cool items in this update. I think there's a really nice dagger too. I kind of like the dagger. I'm kind of torn between the dagger and the rapier, but I tend to use rapiers more than daggers. Even on my rogue characters, most of my rogues use rapiers instead of daggers. I don't know why, but
I think I like those hand wraps.
I was going to ask if you took a little peek at those hand wraps yet.
Yeah.
See, I would say this loot in this update, just, of course, like I said, I don't have any of it. I actually haven't used it, but just reading the stats on it, I think this is some of the better loot in some of the past updates. Because there's a few of these that got me pretty excited, and I'm going to run these several times, or hopefully I'll get lucky when we play, and the stuff will drop that you don't need. And if I get the hand wraps, I, of course, will pass it to you. But yeah, I'm excited for some of this loot. So I'll be running these quests a lot.
All right. Then let's head into the DDO Chronicle issue 242.
42? Oh, sorry, I couldn't resist. Had to. And yes, Gums Gang, I'll be running them several times because the RNG sucks. Anyway, enough RNG suck talk. Chronicle issue 242. And of course, shockingly, we have Dwarves and Drows on the cover of the Chronicle. Who would have guessed that would be the Chronicle cover this week? Nobody saw that coming. In the community spotlight of the Chronicle, the DDO fashion competition is now complete. So click over and check out the winning pictures. And I must say, there is some awesome looking screenshots that were submitted for the fashion competition. So if you want to see some awesome looking outfits and armor and just how beautiful DDO can be, check out this thread and look at these entries because these were amazing. And there's some of the things in there I want to try to figure out, okay, what exactly is that and where do I get that? Because I want to glamour that and have that on a couple of my characters because I like the look of that. So, see, it gave me ideas, and that's a bad thing when I get ideas. There's a player called Emmanuel who is offering DDO videos in Spanish. So if you speak into Spanish, check those videos out. And his recent one is a run of Beyond the Rift. And the elite raiders of Kyber are going toe-to-toe with the Reaper. Click over and watch their video out. We also have Fanside News section, of course, DDO Cast offered up tips to avoid the grind, and that was with guest Mythery and Lessa from the Damsels of DDO. So check that episode out. That was another great episode of DDO Cast. Streaming with Even is heading into the Underdark, so click over and read all about her adventures in the Underdark. And Mickey is celebrating her 100th Against the Demon Queen raid.
What?
100 times she has ran the Demon Creed Wade. That is insane. Hats off to you, Mickey. That is insane and amazing both. I just... 100 times 100. And of course, we have the Chronicle comment of the week, and it fits in with the new Duel for the Underdark updates. So if you had to choose, who would you side with? The dwarves or the drow?
Well, you got to remember is that my introduction to the drow was the old classic dungeon, the one with the fire giant module.
Okay.
You had the drow in the basement leading you into the Underdark for the first time and all that fun stuff.
I can't remember if that was
It was part 3 of Against the Giants.
Yeah, but I can't remember what the name of it was. But anyway, yes. Love that module.
Yeah, it was... Yeah, I can't remember the exact name. I can remember the Steading of the Hill Giant Chief and I remember the Jarl Frost Giant, but I'm trying to think, what was the Fire Giant one called? Yes. But any case, so therefore, let us just say that I have been maintaining the drow on a enemy list for a pretty long time.
And that is G3 Hall of the Fire Giant King.
Oh yeah, Hall of the Fire Giant. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Google Woo.
Yes. And therefore, because I've been having this again, that I am sort of say against the drow, so to speak, there is no way I could say the drow. and I know how much you like drow, though.
Of course. And I was going to say it's no shock which way I'm going to lean. But Gums King in our chat, it's like I don't even know you anymore, Gums. He says, which side? Drow versus dwarves. Elves are never a side. Smiley face. I don't even know you, Gums. So all this elf hate. Drow aren't evil. They're just misunderstood.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Which is why when you have the one good drow, he becomes a legend.
Of course. See, that's right. See, and that's a good example. Everybody says, oh, drow are always evil. Well, no, they're not. Just look at Drizzt. He was not evil. So there. We also have our screenshot of the week, and that is Guard Viviand welcomes the next generation of the battle engineers in the 224th DDO screenshot of the week.
All right, then let's have a look at the Chronicle comment, which is, if you had a choice... Oh, that's what we did.
Welcome to the show, Pineleaf. Welcome to the show.
I think it's time to head toward the store sales.
Just in case you forgot, we are live. When we talk, it goes out on the internet, and people are hearing this. Oh, that was awesome. Our free sample of the week now through July 20th is the Lasting Potion of Resist Fire. Speaking of those fire giants, that is a plus 10 resist fire. You get 5 of those when you use the coupon code Say No to Fire, and that is the number 2. So Say No, number 2, Fire. 20% off this week. Select stat and skill tomes. Tomes of Heroic and Epic Learning, and the Harper Agent Enhancement Tree. And of course, we are in the 3rd week of our summer sales. And this week are some really good summer sales. You can get 35% off the Deep Gnome Iconic. So if you want to experience Gnomegeddon for your very own, 35% off the Deep Gnome Iconic right now. Also 50% off the Veil of Twilight pack, which is a fun pack. I like the Veil. And the Sovereign Guild Renowned Elixirs, also 50% off. And Epic Destinies, if you do not have those, are 75% off. And that is an amazing sale on those as well. So really good summer sales this week. And those go through July 20th as well.
Very well. Then let's head into our site news, and our first question is, do you know how much will be charged if we wish to buy the Ravenloft expansion?
Well, I speculated on this because over on the Lotro side of Standing Stone Games, they did release the pre-order for the upcoming Mordor You have to say it like that.
Mordor.
Mordor. The expansion they got coming up over for Lotro. And let's just say it hit the fan when they announced this. A little bit crazy pricing. I'm just going to throw that out there. The comes in 3 editions. The standard edition is $39.99. Collectors is $79.99, and they have the Ultimate Fan Bundle, which is $129.99. Just to round that up to even numbers, between $40 and $130 is what Mordor is going to cost. So I speculated, okay, do you think that's what Ravenloft will be? I know you can't, it's DDO and Lotro are totally different games. The Lotro Mordor has, I think they said 300 quests. Well, we don't have quests. We just have dungeons. So you can't base it on that. And then I looked back and I'm like, okay, so going back to the last 2 expansions we've had for DDO, what were the pricing of those? So Menace of the Underdark ranged between 30 and 80, and Shadowfell Conspiracy, was between 30 and 50. I was just speculating, do you think we're going to see the little higher bump, and the Ravenloft choices are going to be similar to what we have over at Mordor since it's Standing Stone? Are they going to do something different? So I guess we'll see.
Well, I just have to note that the base edition of Helm's Deep was also $39.99.
Okay, was it over on Lotro? Okay, so I would say from that, then looking back, at the other 2 expansions for DDO and looking at the expansions for Lotro, I would say your base edition of Ravenloft, if you're trying to save money for it, I would say between 30 and 40 is what you're gonna be looking at. Of course, I don't know anything. That's me speculating, just pulling a number out of the air. But that just seems like, judging by everything I'm looking at, like old numbers and the numbers for Mordor, I'm saying I could see them doing standard edition of Ravenloft for 40. And Gumps is agreeing. He's saying, yeah, he's guessing probably 40 for the standard as well. But then, it remains to be seen. Then are we going to have a collector's Ravenloft and an Ultimate Fan Bundle, or whatever they're going to call it, for Ravenloft as well? And if they do, what would be included in that?
Well, I am sure that it is going to be something very vampiric in the pet that they're going to have.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Okay, Standing Stone, make it happen. I want a mini Strahd pet. I never thought about that till right now. I want a mini Strahd.
Mini Strahd. Well, that should be quite a...
Wouldn't that be awesome? But yeah, so we'll see what happens, and we'll see if the DDO player base kind of go have the sticker shock that the Lotro player base had with these prices.
Now, I think, though, that the bigger sticker shock is probably going to be on the higher tiered ones, because back to Helm's Deep, that was 40, as I said, for the base edition, 60 for the premium edition. So you can see there, and of course it's jumping to 80 for in this particular. So there is, so you see the big jump then is going up to the higher tiered ones.
See, and then another thing I just thought of that I did not think about is, I know over on the Lotro side, they are getting a new race, which is the half elf. And
not the half elf. They're getting the high elf.
Oh, I'm sorry, high elf. Sorry, I was thinking D&D. Sorry. Yes, high elf. Sorry, the D&D.
No.
Exactly. The D&D in me is coming out, I guess. So yeah, so they're getting the high elf over there, and the big, I guess, bone of contention, we'll say, about the expansion prices, where that is not included in the base edition of Mordor. To get that, you will have to get the collector's edition, which is $80. And they haven't said if we're getting anything new, if we're getting a new race or anything like that for DDO and Ravenloft. They have kind of hinted at something was coming, but nothing has been set in stone, no pun intended. So that just made me think, okay, are they going to do the same thing if, let's say, for speculation's sake, we are going to get a new race, which I doubt we will, but let's just say we do. There you go. Would they gate that behind the collector's edition on DDO as well, since I did Lotro? You know, so I don't know, because I guess the precedent has been set, and Gumsgang is saying, but over on Lotro, you did get the free Valor item. It's like you're getting a free Autos box. So you're saying Lotro now has the McRib there too, huh? Oh, I went there.
Yeah, I have a feeling, because I know that if I would certainly not have separately ordered an auto leveling thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, I couldn't see I don't think I could see ever using one of them. Why?
Well, you
might
actually,
have.
I have one English language server where I don't have any capped characters. So I'm thinking of using it on that server, since I'm going to have one sent to me just on the order, I might as well use the thing. So I've just do it on the server where I don't have a capped character, so that I can participate in the can on high level stuff before I get all the way up there. My current character, but yeah, it's not my usual way of leveling stuff. You know that.
Right, exactly. So I don't know. This was just something I was just thinking about and decided to put this up. It'll be interesting to see at how closely they match Ravenloft to the Mordor expansion. Maybe DDO will be a little less. Maybe it'll be more. Who knows what Standing Stone will do, but just some food for thought.
Very well. Then let's head into what's coming in from the dungeon. And Tunnels and Trolls Adventures is launching on August 17th.
It has been a while since we've talked about the Meta Arcade platform. Of course, that is the new digital platform coming out that will let you create adventures on the fly for you to run through Tunnels and Trolls, and it's supposed to be very simple to do. I have been playing in the closed beta of this. I can just now talk about it. I couldn't really talk about it before.
Oh, the NDA's just been lifted?
Yes, it has, yes. Of course, I've been playing that on my iPad. There is a Steam version of it coming out, but it's wasn't quite ready to check out yet. But it's officially launching the day of Gen Con, August 17th. And Meta Arcade chose that because they actually announced the Meta Arcade Tunnels and Trolls Adventure was coming last year at Gen Con. So they decided what better way to do it would be at Gen Con 50 in Indianapolis. And it will be launching on the App Store and the Google Play Store, and also PC and Mac and Steam later on. So iOS and Android's getting it first, and then PC and Mac will get it later. And of course, if you've forgotten what this is, because it's been a while since we talked about it, Tunnels and Trolls Adventure is going to be a dungeon crawling RPG experience that will bring new and classic modules to life in Tunnels and Trolls, which of course was this is kind of a bone of contention as well too, but it's the second RPG ever published. There's some people that dispute that, and if you watch my interview last year with the Meta Arcade guys, and I did actually ask them about that, and I also talked to the Troll Father himself, Ken St. Andre, who of course was the creator of Tunnels and Trolls. I asked him about being the second RPG ever created. But this, as I said, will let you actually create adventures inside of the Meta Arcade platform, and then you can release them for other players to play. So it's pretty sweet how it's going to work. And it's actually available for free, so you don't have to pay for it, but you will have to pay for adventures.
I'm just thinking, though, usually I find that whenever I find community-created modules, they're usually about twice as tough as any of the official ones.
Yeah, it's usually pretty hit or miss on anything that's
yeah. And of course, we're talking about Tunnels and Trolls here, where I have enough trouble surviving the ones that exist already.
Yeah, it's tough. It's Tunnels and Trolls was not for the faint of heart. That is for sure. But yes, it's launching August 17th. You'll be able to get it, as I said, on iOS and Android and PC and Mac later. And I have already scheduled some interview time with the Meta Arcade guys at Gen Con 50. So we'll be chatting with this, and you can watch that when the video is released as part of our Gen Con coverage.
Very well. Then let's head into another well-known campaign, and that has to do with a Critical Role. And I think you know a lot more about Critical Role than I do.
I do. I watch Critical Role every week. Yes, we have talked about it in the past. It's been a while since we talked about it, but we did say that the pre-orders for the Critical Role Tal'Doria campaign setting for 5th edition was going to be available for pre-order soon. Well, soon as now, because it is here. You can go ahead and pre-order the campaign book now. There is several different ways you can do it. You can get it directly from Green Ronin, and you can get it shipped straight to your house. Or you can get the print book, and you can pick it up at Gen Con 50 if you so happen to be there. You can also get the PDF of it only, or you can order it from Amazon. And speaking of PDF, when you pre-order on Green Ronin's site, it's only Green Ronin's site. Well, actually, that's not true. It's Green Ronin's site, and your friendly local game store will be able to do this for you, too. If you pre-order from Green Ronin or your FLGS, you'll be able to get the PDF of it for just $5 more, which is pretty awesome because the PDF is like $20 if you buy it separately. So getting it for $5 is a pretty sweet deal. And as I said, you can't get it on Amazon, but you can't get the PDF deal on Amazon. So if you're looking to get the PDF and the print book, you need to go to Green Ronin's site and order that. And as I said, you can pick this up at Gen Con. So if you're going to go to Gen Con, it would behoove you to head over to Green Ronin, pre-order it, do the pickup, pick it up at Gen Con, because they said they're only going to have a limited number for public consumption at Gen Con. They're probably going to sell out of it. But if you pre-order, you are guaranteed a copy. They are going to save all the pre-order copies. So
until Sunday at 2 p.m.
Oh, correct. Yep, that's what I was just about to say. So if you, for some reason, are really, really slow to get to Green Ronin's site to pick this up and you pre-ordered, Sunday 2 p.m., you're out of luck. They're going to sell what they have left because the lines are going to be insane for this, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And once again, I am going to definitely do a video with the Green Ronin guys at their booth talking about this and the other great Green Ronin stuff coming up. But for those that want to add a little Critical Role to your very own home 5e campaigns, you can do that with the campaign setting, which will be available soon. It's actually launching at Gen Con. But they did want to make it very clear, too, that this is not a Gen Con exclusive. It will be available even after Gen Con. And you will be able to get it other places other than just Amazon and your FLGS after Gen Con. But it's actually launching at Gen Con 50.
All right, now let's head into On the Tabletop. And what's coming there? Dracula's America, Shadows of the West. This sounds like a vampiric Western game.
It is, and it sounds awesome is what it sounds. 2 words, President Dracula.
President Dracula?
Yeah, it's awesome. I'd vote for him.
Wait. How could Dracula become president?
Well, very easy. When you charm all of Congress into passing a law to make you president, it's pretty easy.
Oh, you charmed them all. Okay. And also the state legislatures to allow someone not born in the United States to become president.
Details.
Details. They have to resend that part of the Constitution also.
Details and logic, finally. Details and logic. Yes, this is an alternative history skirmish war miniatures game. And the basic premise of the game is it is 1875, and Count Dracula is now president of the United States of America. In the wake of the Civil War and the country struggling to regain its balance, Dracula has seized the power. The Count's thralls have assassinated President Lincoln and the entire administration in a single night, and in the ensuing chaos, The master made his move, dominating the complete Senate. He declared himself president for life and rules the Union with fear and an iron fist. His vampiric progeny, the Coven of the Red Hand, will inflict terror on society and will enforce Dracula's will and ruthless efficiency. So yes, Dracula's America, Shadow of the West, as I said, is a skirmish war game set in an alternative history of the Old West. So there's going to be gun battles, there's going to be zombies, there's going to be vampires. It's going to be awesome. It is available for a pre-order now. It is launching in late August. And you can head over to the link on the site and pre-order it. This looks pretty awesome. I usually don't get into like miniature war games, but this just like screams me. Like everything about this game is just screaming, I need to play this game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping it will be at Gen Con. It's from Osprey Publishing is actually the one that is doing the book. And they have somebody else doing the miniatures for them, which is a company called North Star is the one that is doing the highly detailed miniatures for it. So I'm hoping Osprey Games will actually have something to do with this at their booth so I can check it out and talk to them about it. But yeah, this is pretty awesome. As I said, I normally don't get into miniature war games, but yeah, this is just like screaming my name all over it.
Mm-hmm. $178.
Yeah, that's not screaming my name when I saw the price. Hence why I said I normally don't get into miniature war games.
And that's the reason.
Because my bank account cries when I look at miniature war games. So yeah. But yeah, pretty cool. So check it out if you want. Dracula's America, Shadows of the West.
Very well. Now it is time to answer the question that I'm sure everyone here has been waiting for. What game won the Spiel des Jahres?
And the answer to that is, drumroll, King Domino is your winner.
What a shock.
Yeah, everybody figured that was the one that was going to win, and it did. So congratulations to King Domino.
Very well. And the winner for the Kennerspiel?
Exit the Game, which is actually a series of games. There is Exit the Abandoned Cabin, Exit the Secret Lab, and Exit the Pharaoh's Tomb. And it is exactly what it sounds like. It is basically an escape room that you play at home.
So I hope they're not too expensive considering the fact that you probably could only play it once unless you're buying it to host a game and you don't rip up the parts in the
right
process of playing it.
That's the whole rub with the whole play escape games at home is, yeah, you got to rip stuff up and play it. But no, they're not. They're like between, I want to say 13 and like 22. So they're not horribly priced. I guess it's not bad for a one and done game, I suppose.
Okay.
I've seen some other escape games that are like way more expensive than that. So.
All right, good then. Then let's see what's on the screen this week. And Wild West Online shows off the first gameplay video. And Wild West Online, I would presume then that this is an MMO based in the Wild West. I know that's really...
You really went on a whim there to guess that, didn't you? Yes. Yes. We haven't got much information on this game. It was kind of teased at E3. For a long time, people were thinking, because there was just like some teaser shots of this out, and it wasn't really announced until E3, and a lot of people thought it was going to be a sequel to the game Red Dead Redemption, which sadly it was not. Red Dead Redemption is an awesome video game. But yes, this is Wild West Online, as you said, a Wild West MMORPG. And we finally got our first look at gameplay video. The developers have shown off a few things. You're going to see how you can change outfits, how you can do the fast travel, the awesome looking environments. I gotta say, this game looks mighty, mighty pretty in the gameplay video. And also you're going to see horseback riding and the horseback animations.
Now, my question concerning horseback riding is, does the game support mounted combat?
They have not said yet.
Ah, Because we all know how difficult that is. Yes.
Yeah. Everybody is speculating, yes, you will be able to shoot your revolver while you're on your horse, but people have asked, and the developers are kind of mum on that right now. So I'm assuming, yes, you'll be able to do quote-unquote mounted combat, but I guess we'll have to wait for another gameplay video. But I linked this video over on DDOplayers.com. Check it out, Wild West Online. First look at the video, and the thing that jumped out at me is how amazing looking this game is. It is a highly detailed, rendered Wild West setting. They did an amazing job at the theme of the game. It knows it's a Wild West game, and it's really going for that with the look and the feel. And just from this little teaser show-off video the devs put out, I think they're going to do a great job. But I guess we'll see actually, once we can actually get in and actually play it to see how gameplay is. Because, as we've seen in the past with several games, you can be really, really amazing looking and your gameplay can be total crap. So
right.
There's a big difference between amazing looking and amazing gameplay. So we'll see how they handle it. But check that out, Wild West Online.
Now, I have a question for you.
And I might have an
article being called Stranger Things Season 2 is coming out sooner than we thought. Isn't that a bit saying a bit much when you consider it's only 4 days?
Well, yeah, but it's exciting because if you watch Stranger Things, you knew when it was announced during the Super Bowl that it was coming out Halloween. People were like, what? Halloween? That's October 31st. That's like way too far away. Well, Netflix, I guess, heard our cries and decided, hey, you know what? We'll bump that up to October 27th. How's that? Netflix did release a little teaser video to let us know Stranger Things Season 2 is coming. And let me give a spoiler alert. If you have not watched Stranger Things and Season 1 and you want to skip ahead about 15 seconds, because in the little teaser blurb Netflix gave, it kind of gives away some of the major plots of Season 1. So I'll give everybody a chance to skip ahead 10 seconds if you wish to do so. Teaser blurb for Season 2. It's 1984, and the citizens of Hawkins, Indiana, are still reeling from the horrors of the Demogorgon and the secrets of the Hawkins lab. Will Byers has been rescued from the upside-down world, but a bigger, sinister entity still threatens those who survived. And if you take a look at the teaser poster, they also released, and this was seen in the teaser video as well, there's like a weird looking monster thing in the red skies. It's very Cthulhu looking. So I can only imagine what horrors are going to await to us. In Stranger Things, coming to Netflix on October 27th.
Well, if the prep for this was Demogorgon, I can imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Worse.
Yeah. That was the quote-unquote big bad of Season 1 was the Demogorgon.
Ooh, very well then. Now, all those who are back from the spoiler that was just announced, you might want to jump up a little bit further.
That's right. We're going to have another spoiler-ish, kind of.
Yes.
We were kind of talking about this before the show, and I'm really not sure if this is a spoiler so much, but just throwing it out there.
Yes, for they have announced who will be the next Doctor.
Now, we did know that we were getting a new Doctor in December during the Christmas special. So we knew that was coming. That's not the spoiler. The spoiler is they actually gave us the name of the person that is playing the new Doctor. So as I did in the Stranger Things talk, if you don't want to hear this, skip ahead about 15 seconds. And you'll be totally shocked and surprised during the Christmas episode when the Doctor regenerates, and it is this person. So, spoiler alert, here we go. The new 13th Doctor will be Jodie Whittaker. We have our first female Doctor for the first time ever in the history of Doctor Who. Lots of people have been clamoring for this. They've wanted a female Doctor. The BBC has kind of teased that they have thought about doing it. They want to do it. We'll see what happens. Before Peter Capaldi took over it was kind of teased that Jenna Coleman, who played the last companion and the best companion, in my opinion, was in the running to be the new Doctor. We weren't really sure how that was going to work, how she was going to go from a companion to a Doctor, but whatever.
Well, it's sort of like how Romana, when you got to remember that when Romana regenerated, she took on the form of a character from the previous series.
Oh, well, that's true. Very, very true. But yes, it's kind of awesome. First female Doctor ever, Jodie Whittaker, and that name may or may not be familiar to you. The last big thing she was in was she was the mother on Broadchurch. So if you watched the BBC drama Broadchurch, she was the mom on that. That's what most people would know her from, I think. And as I said, she's going to make her debut on the Sci-Fi show when the Doctor will regenerate in the Christmas special. And she did tell the Radio Times that she hopes that fans are not going to be scared by her gender because this is a really exciting time. And Doctor Who represents everything that's exciting about change. The fans have lived through so many changes, and this is only a new, different one, not a fearful one. So congratulations to her, and we'll see the direction that she will take Doctor Who as she starts her tenure as the Doctor number 13.
Doctor number 13.
And another cool thing about the Christmas special is the current Doctor, which of course is Peter Capaldi, is actually going to meet the first Doctor. And from the teaser video they have released, I don't know the actor's name that they got. I need to look it up. That's playing the first Doctor. If you did not know any better, you would actually think it was the first Doctor. He is that spot on.
That is pretty spot on.
In his portrayal, yeah, it's crazy. So good job for that casting, at least. So
it's not the first time they had to cast somebody else to be the first Doctor.
It is not, but this one, like I said, I watched the teaser video and I'm like, and I was thinking to myself, my God, if this was in black and white, you would actually think that was like him. I mean, it's like it's
looks
scary.
Like Cardinal, huh?
Yeah, it's scary how much he looks and acts like Cardinal. So yeah, so good job on that casting.
Now let's head into our week in gaming. And Drac, what have you been up to?
I actually had a pretty busy week this week. I had more time than normal to get some gameplay in. I decided to work with my level 21 Ranger, which I haven't really done much with lately. That was the character that I started out playing with you, and then I changed him because it was kind of like this weird Ranger Rogue combo.
Yeah.
Because that was when I was running with you. Well, then I kind of did a little fast reincarnation and got rid of my rogue level, so now it's just pure Ranger. So I decided to jump over to Evening Star, and I'm running the Menace of the Underdark, the Darkening quest line, and I'm running this on actually Epic. So this is the first time I've actually ran Epic Quest. Didn't have too big of a problem so far. I mean, it's kind of challenging because, I'm used to just playing on like normal heroic or maybe hard heroic. So to me, this is like, oh my God, these monsters hit hard and wow, those traps are not fun. So yeah, that's a little bit of gameplay difference for me, but I'm enjoying it. So I ran Impossible Demands and the Unique Graves, the Unquiet Graves. Ran those two so far on Epic, level 21. So I'm going to continue on with that quest chain. And then also worked on King's Forest Slayers as well, because all those quests take place in King's Forest. Figured, hey, I'm out here anyway. Let's knock out some Slayers and get some experience. So did that. And then when Update 36 hit, I decided I'm going to run the new quest on this character because I'm going to run them on a bunch of my characters because if you remember the beginning of the show when we talked about the loot, there's some loot I want, so I'm just going to have to run a bunch of characters through. So the only one I did is Third Time's a Charm, and of course, no name drops whatsoever. Anybody shocked? Didn't think so. And that was it for my DDO gameplay, other than what I did with you. Did do some Dungeon Master prep work for the 5th edition Storm King's Thunder game that I'm doing with my friend and his kids. We're actually going to jump back into that. It's been a long time since we played. That's just due to my crazy real life things I have going on right now. But we decided we're going to make it work, and we're going to jump back into that. So I did some prep on a dungeon I put together for them to run through. The goal of this whole thing is we want to try to get at least done or as close to being done with Storm King's Thunder as we can before Tomb of Annihilation comes out, because we want to. I want to jump them right into the Tomb of Annihilation storyline because it kind of ties in with Storm King's Thunder. They did a thing that it ties in rather nicely. So don't think that's going to happen because that's coming out September 9th. Pretty sure we're not going to have time to get it done, but we should be able to knock a lot of it out. So we'll see how that goes. And then in video games, still playing 7 Days to Die, and we had to start over.
What?
Because there was another update that, of course, was 7 Days to Die is in alpha, and when they have updates, more times than likely, the updates will screw up any progress or your saved games, and you have to start over. So we had to start over, not once, but twice. So yeah, we're on our island with nothing at this point because we had a nice base built and we were doing okay. We did a couple horde nights and we survived barely, but now we've got nothing. So we're coming up on a horde night in, I think, 4 days. We're going to be in trouble, I think, on day 14 because we're going to be ill-prepared for the horde, so we'll see how that happens. And then now also in video games, I received a code for a game that is in beta testing. It's a early access game right now over on Steam. It's called House Party. They wanted me to do a review for it for the site. I looked at the website for the game, looked at the Steam page for the game, and I thought, yeah, I don't think this fits DDO players very well. This is a throwback to all of the adventure games of the 90s, like Leisure Suit Larry,
those things.
Secret of Monkey Island. Yes, it's that, but it's very adult. It has very adult themes. You can censor it if you want, but it does have nudity. So yeah, I'm thinking, it's not going to be a good fit for DDO players, but I'll do a Let's Play of it on my YouTube. Why not? So yeah, so look for that over on my YouTube channel soonish, as soon as I get that going. I've never actually done a Let's Play, so this will be interesting to see how well this goes. But I didn't want to do anything with this since the developer was kind enough to reach out to me and say, hey, do you want to review this game? And I was like, sure. And then I read about the game and I'm like, I don't know about a review on DDO players for this because, we try to keep the site semi-family friendly. I mean, there's, sometimes we might let the 4-letter word slip or something, or we might talk about a game that has some like adult type themes. Like we talked about the Flux drinking last week, which, is a definite adult game, but this is a like very adult game because there is adult situations, there is nudity, there is drinking, there's drug use, there is sexual situations. So yeah, not a kid-friendly game at all. So that's why I'm going to put it over on my YouTube channel. So look for that Let's Play coming in the next few weeks. I'm going to start that, and we'll see how many episodes it takes me to get through the game. So look for that soon if you're into that kind of thing. The game, I kind of did like Leisure Suit Larry. I love those games back in the day on my Commodore 64, so I think I'll enjoy the game. Maybe. It depends how many puzzles, because, those games do have puzzles. But usually the puzzles in those games aren't that bad or aren't that hard to figure out, though. So I think I'll be all right with the puzzle aspects.
As long as they're not tile puzzles?
Right, exactly. No tile puzzles. So that's what I was up to this week. How about you, Pineley? What was your week like?
Yes, we'll begin with what I did with Drac on my No Morlock. And we went into Evening Star and ran the High Road, Detour, Rest Stop, and Lost in the Swamp. And, of course, because of all sorts of things, including, I guess I don't exactly have too many dungeons I'm really jumping up and down to do it. Level 14, yes, I know that's when you have Devil's Gambit. But I've just haven't been running up and doing those dungeons for some reason. So therefore, I haven't done anything there. But of course, we've been having Lotro beta this week, and I've been doing that. And in Minecraft, my new season of Minecraft, I think I discussed this last week also, it had started only a couple of weeks ago. So therefore, I have been spending time there. I've completed my town build, and I've finally headed out to the island where I'll be building my base, and that place is a long, long way from the starting area. So yeah, it's been run, getting all the way across there. Maybe I'll find some faster way in order to get there at some point. So yes, I spent a lot of time traveling and collecting resources and doing preliminary builds and all that stuff. And then on Tabletop, I've played a few rounds of Friday, and Friday I've won another level 2 game, so I decided it was time to bump it up to level 3, and it got tougher. So things are a little bit tougher now, and I'll have to see, because my first round, of course, I can't say squished, because it wasn't until the very end of the green round where I finally got killed. So therefore, I could see that perhaps in a couple of play rounds, I might be able to get used to it and be able to play it properly. I don't know if I could win in a couple of tries, but maybe I could at least get to the red section before getting killed. I also played a little bit more of the Lord of the Rings card game. I've played a few new scenarios. Didn't do too well in those. And then I decided to go back to the original Mirkwood ones. I decided to try out a new style of deck for this one and played the first round there. And this was the intro one. So, of course, the intro one's a relatively easy one. So, therefore, I guess I'm not too shocked that I actually won that one after going through all those tougher scenarios I was doing before, doing the intro one. And yes, it's amazing how after trying all of these tough scenarios that the first one, which you thought was tough the first time you did, is a lot easier now. And that is my week. We currently have 22 supporters on Patreon. If you'd like to help support DDO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on a podcast of your choice, or you can be a guest with us for an episode of DDO Players News. And, Drac, hang on to your seats.
Okay, I'm holding on.
We have an iTunes review.
That's awesome. It's been a while since we had iTunes reviews. And we have a 5-star iTunes review.
Yeah. From Finland.
Yes, from iTunes Finland. Who even knew Finland had their own iTunes, but they do.
And what does he say?
It is from, I'm going to say, Kalasopa, maybe, I guess. Hopefully I didn't butcher your name. I'm guessing that's about how it is. He entitled the review, Great DDO-themed podcast. I always look forward to a new episode from Pine Leaf and Drac, who have become key members of the DDO podcast community. Their perspective on the game is a bit different, somewhat more casual from mine, which is great and has a positive impact on my gameplay too. The podcast has branched out to cover tabletop and other gaming beyond DDO, but I won't hold that against them. Smiley face. My favorite episodes of the Players News and DDO Cast, and the Damsels for that matter, are the ones where they visit each other's shows. The production quality is top-notch, so a pleasure on the ears as well as on the brain. So thank you for that amazing 5-star review all the way from Finland. People in Finland are listening to us. Right? Well, not right now, but will be when this releases on Wednesday. Somebody in Finland will be hearing this. That's awesome.
And Jeff had a comment on our featured comments this week, but on could this be Ravenloft Pricing? Oh, when you purchased either MOTU or SC,
Menace of the Underdark and Shadowfell Conspiracy,
you could purchase 11,000 DDO points for $60. There was an upgrade offer for Shadowfell Conspiracy for $39.99 or $40. And many players spent $159.97 on Shadowfell Conspiracy. Wow.
Well, see, that doesn't make that Ultimate Fan Bundle over at Lotro for the Mordor expansion look so bad now, does it?
Well, yeah, but that was 11,000 DDO points.
Yeah, 11,000. Oh, that'd be awesome. I want 11,000 DDO points.
What do you do with 11,000 DDO points?
Many, many, many Gold Scene hirelings. Many. All the Gold Seal hirelings will belong to me. All of them. They'll be mine. All of them. Because we all know I have a Gold Seal addiction.
Yeah, well,
I can admit that.
Yes. Now, of course, that's been on hold for a little while because we've been levels 18 and 19 recently where you have the Panther.
True. Yeah. When I play with you, I don't use that many, but when I am playing solo, I have many, many friends along with me.
Okay.
And they're my Gold Seal friends.
Your Gold Seal friends. Okay. Yes, that is a bit of an addiction there. It's sort of like a person in Motro who would do mithril travel to someone who's just up the stairs.
Yeah, well, I'm not quite. Well, I don't know. I guess. I don't know. I'm sure there's like a lot of people out there just like screaming at their podcast device right now. It's like, why are you spending your points on Gold Seals? Because I want to. That's why. Because, hey, I got to spend my points because I get 500 points a month because I'm a VIP. Right. What else am I going to spend them on? I mean, really. Because there's really nothing in the store that I want to buy. Well, the only other thing in the store I do buy mirrors of glamorings, usually when they're on sale, because if I find some armor that I like, I'll glamour it so I can use it as cosmetic. But, other than that, the only thing I buy is Gold Seals. It's my addiction. They're my points. I can spend them the way I want, right?
All right.
Pretty soon people are going to stage an intervention, but it's okay.
If you would like to send us an email, you can send it to podcast@ddoplayers.com. You could also follow us on Twitter, the Players Alliance @PlayersAlly, DDO Players @DDO Players, Draculetta @Draculetta_72, and Piney Fed Piney Needles. The Players Alliance has 4 live shows every Monday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. We have DDO Players News on the first and third Friday of each month at 11 p.m. U.S. That's 11:59 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. That we have XP Quest. On the last Friday of each month at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Lotro Academy After School. And every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, we have Lotro Players News. You join us for our live shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And that is all for tonight. And this is Piney Needles reminding you to quest responsibly.